Hello. Our producer didn't give us the cues. I just want to state that. He totally forgot. He's looking at me right now with shame. Welcome to the...
I forgot the mic came first.
You
not the
forgot
video.
both cues, and I was again alone in the dark. My name's Mike Murray. This is Timothy Anksman.
And
this is the PWO podcast. Back. It's 2020, and...
we're back. Happy New Year, everybody.
Wait, where are we?
We're in a lair. We're in the lair.
John, what is the name for this?
Do we have a name for this
location?
New shindig here that we got going on?
Name? Anybody?
There is no name.
Did we come up with something for the show? No.
Well, we're in our new humble abode for right now. The name, if you guys got a name for this new little shindig here, in a little setup, why don't you tweet it our way, send it our way, Facebook.
What's our Gmail?
Email us.
What is the email?
Oh, God. We're off the rails already, Michael.
Or if you want to go with Tim's personal email, sloppysideburns@hotmail.com still exists.
Oh, yeah!
And
I would love to hear from you. Any kind of mail. Any kind of good, bad, or indifferent, send it my way.
In between Blue Chew spam emails, you would like to hear from our listeners.
There's nothing wrong with Blue Chew. Sometimes you just need your dick to get hard. And you need a little help. It's male performance. Male performance enhancement.
Oh, anyway, Tim, welcome to 2020.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We made it another decade, Michael.
We did.
I don't know how, but we did it.
We're officially over the hill, I think.
Oh, that happened a long time ago, didn't it? But anyway, close enough. But I'm excited. 2019 was a hell of a year, not necessarily for our show. We did try to evolve in the 3 or 4 episodes that we were able to produce. We did some other ones that are in the archives that no one can see or hear right now because those are our personal, after a day out or a night out excursions. But, Happy New Year. Like I said, lots happened since August 30th, I think, was our last show. Right before All Out. I always want to say All In. I finally got it right this time. I'm very happy about myself about that. And we're going to dive into it, in a few minutes here on what's been going on. AEW heavily show today. But let's kind of just recap, how was the last quarter of the year for you?
Good.
Good. Holidays were good.
Somebody got married.
Somebody did get married.
Oh.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo, you just got married. Congrats to one of our producers, Matthew.
Got married.
We were all there. It was good. Good stuff going on.
Happy mistake of his life.
Beautiful bride. I'm trying to be supportive here. What are you doing?
I'm telling him the truth about marriage.
The truth about marriage.
I love my wife.
On next week's episode, we love you, Anna. Thank you.
I love my wife and child.
I love my wife. I'll be home soon.
Yeah, I will be home.
I hope so. But anyway, the holidays were good, right? And
good, yeah.
Good.
I didn't get everything I wanted. Thanks, guys.
Good.
But it went well otherwise.
Good deal.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Yes, same thing. Nice, peaceful, quiet. At my house, nobody arguing. A little bit of coquito flying around. And going down, so yeah, it was good, man. But anyway, excited. 2020.
Yes.
Here we are again. Our new shindig, our new little pad, if you will. Mm-hmm. Can't call it a bachelor pad. I'm one of the only single guys in this room, but it is what it is. And hey, we're trying to make a buck here. We're back at it in 2020. We're gonna try to bring you guys some good quality content, not just here on YouTube, but on other social media outlets like Facebook. Looking into some new little projects, some side projects in between shows. Stay tuned for some of those options maybe later on in the show as we come up with them. So and again, if you guys whatever you want us to talk about on Facebook in between shows for our podcast episodes, send them our way. Facebook us. Whether it's just our personal accounts. Or on the PWO, we'd love to hear from you guys. Love your support. Thank you so much. Mike.
And again, that's Sloppy Sideburns.
That's not the right account, but that's
at
the
Hotmail. HOT.
I have other.
MAIL.
.com. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Check me out, baby. But anyway, 2019 is gone.
Yes.
But, there were some monumental, some big things going on, in the sport of professional wrestling. Yeah. Notice I didn't say sports entertainment. I said professional wrestling. And, I think large in part was obviously AEW. I think they had a very successful All Out, obviously. And, coming off the heels of that, some good things have followed. And, we're going to kind of dive into it here a little bit. But, obviously the big thing that came out of All Out was I guess a couple things, but Chris Jericho, obviously winning the AEW championship over Hangman Page, thought was the right move.
Absolutely.
And I think it's been, I don't know, profitable might not be the right word, but it's what they needed to kind of jumpstart. We had spoken about that too.
Mm-hmm.
That was the reason, that was the right move to make.
Mm-hmm.
Don't push Page this soon. I don't know what they're doing with him now. It's kind of weird, but
yeah,
we'll see how that pans out. But Jericho, definitely the right move. Love that. The whole MJF and Cody Rhodes thing. That was a hell of a match between. I was at the next pay-per-view. I'm sorry, I got a little bit ahead of myself.
No,
but
okay.
Kind of just recapping here as quickly as I can. But the whole MJF thing, like we said, at Full Gear coming up in November.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a little rushed. We could dive into that a little bit later on.
Yeah, I was hoping they would wait.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. They needed to wait, pull that stretch out a little bit, especially with the amount of time in between these shows, or the pay-per-view and the shows now. But your kind of take on the early start of AEW, we were obviously there.
Yeah.
Week 3 or 4, I believe it was. It was early on. Over in Philly, the Liacouras Center. I almost died in the parking lot.
Oh God, we'll get into that story.
But so go ahead, Mike.
I feel like you just took over the play-by-play. By the way, like all of a sudden,
you told me I had to lead this.
I'm in an uncomfortable position right here.
I had to lead this. You said,
so it's funny you brought up Jericho and MJF specifically because I was just reading about how they looked at the minute-by-minute ratings, and those two are the top two.
Yeah, imagine that,
minute-by-minute ratings. So obviously they made the right decision on Jericho's behalf, and maybe that's why they did that on MJF, just because he's drawing attention. I think it's been okay, not in a bad way. It's not. I didn't expect it to be great off the bat. I know there were going to be growing pains, but it's something that's still has a fresh perspective and a fresh look. Again, reminds me of 1990s watching WCW some nights.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes you see some really cool stuff, and sometimes it's really bad.
Yeah.
But it's not too bad too often.
It's passable.
But a couple things, if I'm gonna, not look at all the positives. I mean, some of the negatives I've seen so far, I haven't been really big fan of how they've portrayed the women's division so far. I think it's been a little bit lackluster after what they said it was going to be.
How they were going to put a focus on it doesn't
quite
seem
there
like
hasn't been any
right?
focus on it. I think that's been a shortcoming of the product so far.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what this whole Dark Order thing is lately.
You want to get this out of the way and go, huh? Because I'll play devil's advocate on when after you kind of go off. You guys if you haven't seen it, Dark Order, join the darkorder.com. We actually haven't even looked at that stuff. We do have other lives, so we haven't had time to kind of divulge into that. But Dark Order, that whole gimmick, I don't know. You're right. I'm not really feeling it. I keep telling you for the past 3 or 4 weeks now, give it time, let it play out. I don't see.
That's something you play out on the mid card.
I don't see a lot of.
You don't put Ravens flocked on the main event.
Well, yeah, but
it's something I don't expect to see it closing a show.
All right, but let's compare now, and this by no means is
I love Raven.
A good comparison.
By the way,
Scotty Flamingo, Raven. That's not his real name, but Scotty, you know what you did in WCW. Johnny Polo in WWE. That man's been through the ringer. God damn, we love you, Raven. Please give us a follow on AEW here on. I don't work for them.
I'll pay you $10,000 if Raven ever follows us on social media.
Oh
yeah! There you go, $10,000. $10,000 for Raven's follow. I think. How do you continue this show after that, right? So, where did you go? Now come up with that one. You catch me off guard every once in a while, Mike. Dark Order. I keep saying wait for the follow up. It's all about follow up. Oh, the comparison I was trying to get to.
Okay.
And it's not a very good one, in necessarily, but you're going to see some glaring differences. But look what they did with Nexus, WWE.
Okay.
Right now, going back several years now, obviously, but going back 10 years, I guess now. That was 2010 when that happened. God damn, beginning of the decade, last decade. But just look at that. Those guys were thrust right into the spotlight. Not necessarily I mean, Wade Barrett more than anybody, probably because he was arguably the most talented in that group. Arguably, some people would probably beg to differ there.
Just a little bit.
PJ Black, Justin Gabriel.
I remember Daniel Bryan.
He was kicked out of it too early though, so I don't consider him part of Nexus.
So just because he choked somebody out doesn't mean he
that's right.
gets to get credit for Nexus. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Wade Barrett. Okay. But and that they started kind of at the top. Then they had little. So you have to get these guys who are unknown, for the most part, that time and that air time, and having the beat down of the Nightmare Family or all those guys, the Elite and stuff like that, wasn't the end of the world. It's going to be about follow up. That being said, the 3 or 4 weeks that's been going on, I don't think it's working. It's not my cup of tea. But guess what? Wrestling has its likes and dislikes for everybody. We might not like it. That's why we have a podcast. We talk about what we like, what we don't like.
Yeah.
We have options. And it's not clicking. Maybe it'll get there. Maybe it won't. That's my take on it.
Major misjudgment. I think you're underestimating how bad of a call it was. Terrible call. I don't know.
Agree to disagree on that. That's fine.
Thought they thought a bunch of guys who nobody knew and a bunch of nympho fucking maniac masks was going to all of a sudden get the fuck over. I mean, I don't know. It was cringeworthy, drizzling shit's bad.
The drizzling fucking shits. And if you ever had that,
I don't want to hate something. I just thought I was just looking at this. And I thought, wow, this is how WCW freaking died. Shit like this.
I don't know if I can. I can't rebuke that. Whatever.
So I'm hoping we see less of that and more of a focus on.
It could have been. It could have been a misstep, and And
I don't think it's like a giant misstep. I think it was just, man, what the hell? Who approved this?
What
were
these
they
guys?
thinking?
Yeah. Okay. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. You like to see less of that and more of what?
Which makes me also wonder. Actually, before we even get to that. Who is the final decision maker? And I've been wondering about this the past month or so, and we never brought it up.
Yeah.
There's a few EVPs. Who is the guy who gets the final say? Or is it the 3 of them, or the 4 of them, or whatever it is? How did they come up with, hey, who's the Vince McMahon saying yay or nay on this fucking idea?
You're talking, we got Cody Rhodes and the Bucks, right?
And Kenny, I believe, is an
Kenny's
EVP.
included, right?
Yes.
So you said 4. I thought you said 3. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Who says yay or nay?
Tony Khan.
That's not what I want to hear.
I don't know, man. I would think, and this is just a straight up guess. I want to say Cody. Cody should have the final say because of experience and. Not just his personal experience, and then, Jesus Christ, look at who his father was, right? His father did it, made some dumb mistakes, but had a lot of good qualities in him. American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, baby. You know what I'm talking about? Talk about hard times. And hard times is what we've been watching with the Dark Order. Okay? But you know what? That happens. That happens sometimes in this sport. But when you have passion for the sport, like my son... The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, his son and his sons, plural, baby. Talking about Dustin and Cody. Hey, man, I'm so proud of them, and they are going to be just fine. Okay? Okay, Daddy? You know why? Do you know why, Michael, that they're going to be okay? Why AEW's going to flourish, baby? Do you know why?
No, I don't know why.
Because of my polka dots!
Oh, there it is. the
first Dusty Rhodes
polka dots.
in-person polka dots of 2020. There you go, guys.
All right. Well, let's get away from the Dark Order.
Yeah.
So what have you seen so far that you've been, a really big fan of?
I think Cody's had some freaking phenomenal promos. I think... Jericho has had, just taken that head lead, and had some phenomenal promos. As far as some guys who I guess kind of under the radar that I've liked, Private Party, man. They've kind of had some a past month or so not as high spots, but they start off like gangbusters, and very, very talented. I'm sometimes not into that bit of flashiness or that style I get, and I'm just talking about their not their in ring work, but the gimmick itself. But they're pulling it off. I think phenomenal. It's entertaining as hell, and they're gonna be something to definitely watch here in 2020. I think. That being said, I think it's really cool. The Lucha Bros have been outstanding, both in singles and obviously in tag team. They're just amazing to me. It's gonna probably be disputed, but and I think we could talk about this as well, but I think it's really cool that they were the best tag team in 2019, the Lucha Brothers. Just overall performances, not even the counting wins and loss records.
Sure.
They are just, for me, they were the tag team of 2019. Can they sustain that in 2020? Will a new team emerge or rebound? Talking about like the things that they've done with the Young Bucks.
Yep.
I think some of the booking's been cool because you're thinking right off the bat, Cody's gonna become a champion. He's gonna beat Jericho right off the bat. They're gonna have the stranglehold. The Bucks are gonna run roughshod and do their flips and whatnot, and their super kick parties. Kenny Omega, guys, I haven't even gotten to him yet in the show. He's gonna be outstanding. When is he gonna have a shot at the title, right? And he's kind of in that mid card.
Yeah, I thought one of the best decisions they made was Private Party going over to Bucks.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a great decision.
Shock factor, and it was like now you're seeing the rebuild of the Young Bucks.
Yes.
So thought it was awesome. Jungle Boy, honestly forgot that he was Jack Perry, Luke Perry's son.
Yeah.
I forgot that or didn't know it at the time. Whatever. Kid's got some chops. It's gonna be interesting to see where he goes. Lucha Express, Luchasaurus, kind of crazy, Fortunately, he was injured.
You haven't mentioned my boy yet. I'm disappointed. Sammy G.
Sammy G. All right.
Yeah, and I know you're not as big on him.
You know what? I'm coming around.
I think he's got the charisma, and he's got the chops. Man,
time will tell, man.
Yeah.
Time will tell. I didn't like it at first. He was the guy. He was like MJF. You want to punch him in the face, type of thing. But I think that's the gimmick. That's what he's going for. He's pulling it off, so he's doing his job. He was making me hate him. The kid in the ring, though, hands down, definitely has the talent. I'm not discounting that. So sky's the limit. It's going to be a good year. I think 2020 for them.
Yeah.
The whole roster, if they learn from some of their mistakes early on, or some of their things that we're saying are mistakes, I think they got a shot, A
couple other things I want to bring up.
Yeah.
Commentating. I remember receiving a text from you a few weeks ago. I'm just going to let you go out and say it.
I'll be very, very careful with how I try to word this. Because I've watched wrestling for however many years, and the good portion of those years, it was Jim Ross as the voice of wrestling. It's true. And he's probably gonna be upset if he hears this, or because he's been going off on some of his rants on his Grill and JR podcast about people criticizing and what it is, so that's why it's hard to say it. And he's not there, and it's I can understand. God, we make mistakes. We had a freaking malfunction at the junction, if you will, trying to get this podcast started. We've been working at it for 2.5 hours. We finally got it set up. We got it set up, and we had some technical difficulties.
Yeah, we had a wardrobe malfunction. Put it lightly on the show. I'm not going to go into any more details.
If you guys saw it, then
I made mistakes.
So, but I mean, no, but it's a shame that I know he's trying. I know he wants to do well, but it's not there.
Do you think it's it can improve enough, or do you think it's done?
I don't. It's taken too many steps backwards. I haven't seen any improvement. The improvement that I've seen has been from Excalibur. And Tony Schiavone's been good when he's been there. But JR, it's just
be, more of a pops in every now and then just does the one-on-one interviews.
Yes, that would totally the some of the sit down interviews that they did, you know, on the lead-in programs. I thought he did fine with that. You know, did great. Being a play-by-play guy, he's just not there. Right?
Do you?
It's too many mental mistakes. And I'm not even just saying mispronouncing guys' names, because I don't. Who gives a shit about that, right? But there have been other things, whether it's the time limits. You know, I'm trying to think off the top of my head now of some of the other issues that I remember.
Do you think some of it's the productions team's issues? Do you think? I don't think it's all him. I think sometimes it's them not relaying what they need to the announce team. It seemed like that.
I think it's true. I see your point, a valid point, but after he's made some kind of blooper or whatever it was, it seemed like, you know, Tony or Excalibur more than others would correct him immediately.
Yeah.
Now, is that because, you know, JR said something that he wasn't supposed to say, or, you know, was wrong or off base?
Sure.
And they heard it, so like, you know, Excalibur's trying to correct it real quick, or they're telling him to correct it real quick, possibly. But I don't know if I'm blaming production. I'm sure it plays a role, but I don't know if it's a big enough role to where, you know, I mean, the sign of the times. The one person you can't fight and you can't beat is Father Time. And as much as he's trying, as much as I love the guy, it's just it's like watching frickin' Raw sometimes with this Vic Joseph person.
I listen to JR all day.
Yes. Well, God, yeah. In that case, yes.
Oh, my God.
But, you know, the commentary, it's not just about the in-ring work. It's not just about the promos. It's not just about the characters, the gimmicks, all that. It's the entire production, which includes the announcing. And that's been one drawback, I think.
Speaking of the damn production, Tim, why won't they pipe the music into the mics? Why? Why?
I don't have an answer. I don't. You know, I'm not a production guy. Lord knows we sat here watching Raw while we had our two tech guys
it's just
setting
less
everything up.
Impact.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It just doesn't make sense.
Presentation of the product.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be able to hear.
It's like watching It's like watching entrance music at a UFC or boxing event.
Yes.
Where the entrance just means nothing. This is not a real. I understand. Hey, they're trying to present. Hey, it's a real sport, but it affects the presentation. It's not just. Sometimes you have to take a step back. Ooh,
I think what bothered me, it happened in the pay-per-view. I remember just.
This is John, one of our producers, by the way, talking. Hi, say hi, John. 2020.
I remember one of the big complaints from that, and I noticed it was the crowd mics were not good at all during that show. You heard from reports from that show where you just scrolled out that the crowd was hot. And that did not translate at all in the show, and I think as a TV viewer that heard it, because usually, you know, as much as wrestling is about, you know, the in-ring work and how the wrestlers work, it's also about how the crowd reacts to it. And that was kind of an issue.
That affects your view of the show.
It was during the Cody Jericho match. I remember I'm like, this is weird that they're not really going off for this. And, you know, not saying it was the greatest match of all time, but it was still a very well told match.
It was a very cool, good
But apparently, you look it up, and it's like people are going nuts during it, and I'm like,
well, we couldn't tell. You've listened to 83 Weeks podcast. He hasn't mentioned it lately, but when they do these watch-alongs or just when they're reviewing a pay-per-view, Eric has said he's rating a match based on the crowd reaction. and obviously that's going to have to be the sound and hearing the voice and hearing the screams, the boos, whatever it might be. You could have the best match in the world. You could put, a Ricky Steamboat versus Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Have him watch the match. The crowd is silent, so he's not going to rate that match as high.
I remember I was watching. I have the Eddie Guerrero DVD set.
Yeah.
And it was him and Chris Jericho. And Chris Jericho's describing a match. He says, "We had one of the best matches we ever had, but the crowd was dead for it.
Yeah.
We put it on the DVD because it was like a really good technical match.
To them,
but
it was
crowd
a
completely
good
brought
match.
it down because they just did not care.
Well, and it was like, you talk about, now we're kind of going into the weeds here, but, it's what we do on the PWO. We do what we want. It's our show. We talk about whatever we want. Duh. But we talk about, like, the TLC matches that, Edge Christian, the Hardys, and the Dudleys had back in 2000 and 2001. The first one was in Anaheim. So in the pond, not in a big, huge arena. Held maybe 10, 12, 14,000 people, whatever it was. And then the crowd was just going banana for it, right? Fast forward to Houston Astrodome. A much larger crowd where, the ceiling is God knows how much higher.
Yeah.
So that it takes, the sound goes up, it has to come back down. They're doing half as much of the shit, and they're like, we're not getting any reaction. But it's taking so long for it to come down that they didn't even hear it. Does that play into this? Because they're in a small setting.
Shows.
Right. Yeah. They're in but AEW has been in the smaller of buildings. And the crowd, we went to the show. Crowd was...
And it didn't
phenomenal.
It didn't come off.
No, it did not, and that's a shame. And now, do they not have the production? Why, or are they just not doing it? I don't know. Yeah. And if you watch any TNA or Impact, kind of the same thing. It feels like it's almost like an old school approach. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but they're focusing in on the ring, and the maneuvering in the ring.
See, I think it is bad. It feels second rate.
It says you compare it to their competitor.
Yes.
Because I watched NXT during the Rhea Ripley Shayna Baszler match. That place,
incomparable.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that AEW's in larger arenas, but it's
not. They are, but
not like WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know
right.
What I mean?
So it just we're nitpicking here, but At the end of the day, it matters. And, why they haven't done it, why they don't do it, I don't know. Maybe after this, and maybe after Tony Khan listens to our podcast, he'll start doing it. Or he'll tell Cody to do it. I don't know, because Cody's probably not listening.
Tony's in charge. You heard it here first. Tony Khan is running the fucking show.
They should, just like Jerry Jones is running Dallas.
See that new coaching hire? Mike McCartney?
Oh, did they? I didn't see that, no.
Yeah.
Ah!
Oh yeah!
All right, giddy up, boys.
Like 8 times.
Yeah, you got to come up with some new material. I know you got.
Where's the new one?
Yeah, we're not just gonna do a show.
I'm waiting for that one.
Oh, we have to wait for something good. Mike, I'm sorry.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'm having an issue with my glasses. So I'm just trying to get them straight. I've had these glasses for, gosh, I don't even know how long. It's time for a new pair.
Oh, man.
I don't know what's going to happen, but I hate spending an arm and a leg for frames.
Potential plug.
Do you have anything that could help me out?
Tim? I have the same issue. I can't afford glasses because I have a child.
Yes, but
what do I do?
The glasses that you do get, they give you the wrong prescriptions.
Yes.
So here's what you do. You go to $39glasses.com, and they will hook you up. These are not $39 glasses. I will be checking it out and doing it. I'll be checking it out. Yeah, freaked out. Yeah, it's the Macho Man. How do you think I got my glasses? You can even do sunglasses. Yeah. So go to $39glasses.com. They aren't paying us. We are not shilling this. We're trying to get paid.
These are also not $39 glasses.
But guys like us, he's got a wife. He's got a kid.
But they could be.
He's got a wife. He's got a kid. I have a job. I like to drink beer and spend money on Flyers tickets.
I mean, look at these glasses. $39!
Plus shipping and handling, probably. But
probably like $80.
$39.com.
Plus, don't you dare return them. You get what prescription they give you.
$39glasses.com. Go make yourself you. Or your money back.
Wow.
Portillo's is number one.
So let's not bring up Portillo's. Let's give everybody an update.
Yeah. All right. Sidebar from wrestling for a second.
Sidebar. Our fantasy football league. All four of us, the Portillo club team members, were in one division. 3 of us made the playoffs.
Yep.
John didn't because his team blew.
Returning champion, but just fell by the wayside.
I got a bye, and all of us lost again.
Yep.
Utter failure.
I racked off 4 wins in a row and made it into the playoffs. I was the freaking Eagles, and I won the first round. And then I lost to a 12-1 guy who ended up losing to a 6-7 guy in the championship. So all is well, all is right with the world until next year. Another fantasy debacle, I guess, if you will. Another fantasy hopelessness. But we keep coming back for more, don't we? We do it every year. We say it's over. This is our last year. We're not doing it. I hate you. You hate me. This sucks. Why do I do this to myself? I hate football. Football sucks. I love football next week. Following week, I'm okay with football. Who's my guy? I hate Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz sucks. I love him. No, Jesse Palmer. No, he doesn't play anymore. Who's this guy? I want
Jesse Palmer?
Jesse Palmer.
Why Jesse Palmer?
I don't know. I was thinking somebody else. I don't know.
Anyway. AEW.
And we keep coming back for more.
I got another thing I wanted to bring up. The re-rankings.
Yeah.
For 2020.
You know what? Honestly, I didn't know they were doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to, be on... I don't know if they posted it beforehand or anything like that. I try not to be on social media until after the show, or until I've seen the show, or at least kind of know what happened after the show. So it was I like it.
I do too.
I think it's really cool. I think it's cool how the standings stay the same, or the rankings, I should say. It's like the guys and the girls and the teams, they're locked in their position, but we all start over again.
Yes. I
think that's really cool. Now, the one a nitpicking thing here. They were basing it on a 3-month span.
Correct.
Right, October through December 31st. Mm-hmm. I would have liked to have seen maybe it go a full year. And then so, on their anniversary show in October, then it kind of restarts, because then you're making it like it's a new year, it's a season premiere, whatever you want to do.
See, I think they did it that way.
I think it's cool, though,
because
it
gave them, hey, let's try this out for a few months.
Yes.
Now, hey, we get to restart without any issues with it.
Now we can retweak it.
Now we can say, this worked, this didn't work.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think something, too, that we didn't see a lot of, I think we only saw one, was ties. I thought, as much as I don't like a time limit draw, sometimes it would be necessary. I thought the 2 guys that they gave the tie to, it was the Pac and Moxley, right? They got the tie, I believe, that one week. You guys have that? I believe that was them. That didn't help or hurt either one of those guys.
Sure.
So the tie didn't mean anything in that situation. Mm-hmm. I think if you had that happen, and then you had another 2 guys, pick any other 2 guys, right? Mm-hmm. Then you have to be in the top 5 or top 10 in their ranking. Mm-hmm. That might have made something more. I think it was very cool how they did the non-sanctioned match.
Yes.
With Mox and Omega at the pay-per-view. Saying, you guys are going to have this non-sanctioned match. It's going to be, no holds barred, but it's not going to count. I thought that was done right. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the preceding, promos that Moxley did about that, I thought were very good. So it's a really cool concept. And I was watching some old Clash of the Champions from WCW. Mm-hmm. And one of the commercials, or right before the match, or whatever it was, is here's our top 10 rankings, right? So that was the nostalgia that and I'm like, oh crap, now they're bringing it back here, And so I thought it was cool to see the evolution, but how sometimes things from 20, 30 years ago kind of can be recycled and repackaged in this way, and it seems fresh to us, right?
So last thing I want to hit on.
Yeah.
2020. Who needs to be the guy?
Skip Sheffield!
Not Skip Sheffield.
No.
Even though if it did happen, I would pay money.
No.
To see your reaction.
No.
Like live.
No.
Can you imagine if we went to that Prudential Center show?
Newark, no.
And Skip Sheffield premiered?
No.
We get, you know how many
Mike, I'm just going to end this right now. I'm going to drop the headset right now if you keep this up. No, I'm not going to do that.
I would pay
no.
extra money
No.
To make that happen.
No.
Just for your reaction.
No.
Where's your title?
So who needs to step up? Who needs to be the guy? Or who needs to be the guy, right? Is the question.
Skip Sheffield.
Besides Ryan Reeves. Skip Sheffield.
Yes.
Ryback. Okay, yes, I know his name.
I know.
Okay. I would like to see... I think the most logistic and the most reasonable and safe answer would be Cody, right? This guy's got to take this and go with it. Now, who knows how long they're going to stretch out this MJF
How does somebody
saga.
who can't compete for the title...
Be the guy?
Right,
yeah. So, at this point, what are they doing with him?
So your answer is wrong.
It's not wrong.
It pretty much
It's
is.
wrestling. They can do whatever they want.
It's uninspired.
It's wrestling. They can change the rules up as they go.
It's a flimsy answer.
Kenny Omega. It's coming out party.
I sure hope so. Because...
Well, who do you think? You don't care.
No, I care. You know who the number one person has to be this year? And if they don't, you have to do it if they want to be legit. Tessa Blanchard.
Sammy Guevara.
Tessa Blanchard. That's
wow. Okay. Oh, see, all right. So I was going with who's on the roster. I like that.
She wants, you pay her.
And that gives
now you have a women's
division
legitimacy.
Immediate credit and legitimacy. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Face the company.
Yeah. Wow. Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah. God, man.
Yes.
I mean, her dad's there already. You would think it'd be So you would think he should be a shoo-in. We'll see. Time will tell. Did we touch base on the MJF and Cody? We didn't really go into that, but
we could get into a little bit if you like.
Yeah. I think we both said it earlier that they kind of didn't. They could have stretched this out a little bit longer.
Yes.
I feel like it was right how they ended that match with Cody and Jericho. I thought it was done nicely with MJF throwing the towel in. But you could have built on that. Of, questioning from Cody or, and then a promo from MJF, I'm sorry, blah, blah. You could have built on that. Even if they did it the week later.
See, that's not what I would have done. See, what I would have done, MJF keeps screwing up.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's Cody who eventually turns. You get a double turn out of it. That would have been something I would have went long term with. Can you imagine? MJF throws in the white towel, right? What he does, then he screws something up the next time. Maybe they have a tag title shot. He's the guy who takes the pin and screws it up.
Yeah.
He's constantly the weak link. And Cody turns on MJF.
Because he gets so frustrated that this keeps happening.
Correct. And I thought...
But I feel like MJF is much better suited for the heel persona than Cody would be at this stage of the game.
Yeah.
I love that idea. I think that would have been an interesting way to turn. Or, to let it play out. But I was saying, have him stretch it out where kind of similar, where, he does keep screwing up, but he keeps costing Cody a match.
Yes.
Necessarily. In one way, shape, or form, or taking this away from him, or whatever it might be.
Sure.
And then, because, they've been building for this for, 6 weeks now? Or no, longer, probably 2 months.
Yeah.
Since the actual turn. So, they had time to stretch this out and play it out to where if he if he turned, let's say, on the first show, this past week, and let's just say he cost Cody the match against Darby Allin. Of course, you don't need Arn Anderson in his corner then.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other topic, right?
Which is why I think they made a mistake with the whole title stipulation with Cody.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they could have
How is he still?
Could have been the vehicle for continuing it.
Absolutely, and he's still in the rankings.
Yes.
How can he be a contender?
And then you could have him. He screws him up so badly he falls out of the rankings.
Yeah, something like that.
There's ways to play
exactly,
it. Yeah.
Exactly. So some missteps, but overall production of it, I thought was good. I think again we're both thinking in agreement there with that they could have been played out a little bit longer.
Yeah,
and
I don't
like to
care
have seen
if Cody
different.
ever wins the title. Him not
getting a shot
until they get out of it.
Right, sure.
But I mean, not having the ability to just throw him in a match like a fatal four, not having that ability for somebody of that level. Just I don't understand why the rush.
I think
to do
the
something
whole
like
point
that was.
is it's not I think we mentioned this earlier. The Elite were going to be dominant right off the bat, right? And that was their way out for that, and that could have been a misstep. And we'll see. He's had some decent matches on Dynamite.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think basically, we're still kind of in this holding pattern. Mm-hmm. We've seen some things that we like. We've seen some things that we're not so that we don't like.
Yeah.
There's some definitely room for improvement. There's some things we like to see them continue and to evolve. I think it's been really good that they've relied on guys like Jericho, Cody, Moxley as their main promo guys, and allowing these other guys to learn from them and just giving them the exposure in the ring. Thought that's been good. 2020, he's going to win the title.
Get him the title.
Oh yeah, I believe so.
He's the next guy.
I believe so. Absolutely, I think he beats Jericho. I would be pretty damn confident in that. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a good year. We didn't even talk at all about NXT, and we don't want to talk about WWE necessarily.
NXT's been crazy.
NXT's been very good. The NWA Power's been all right. It's been another alternative. 2019 was the start of a new era in professional wrestling. I look for everyone, whoever you guys like or don't like. I'm looking for all companies, all brands, to take it a step higher. And let's keep rolling. Obviously, this was AEW heavy show today. 2020, let's bring it. Let's do it.
Next time in the background, we've been promised a giant volcano erupting with our logo in it.
We'll see. We barely got.
You're gonna be having my fist down your throat.
John is not very happy with this show.
No.
And how we just threw it up. We said, "Hey, we're doing a show," and he looks a little stressed.
He looks a little stressed. You know what I think he needs?
A comb?
No. A picture from John Marie Photography.
You know what I was thinking?
That would make him feel much better.
Is the source for the greatest photos taken in mankind's history.
And we ain't
Look
talking
at
about
this child!
Look at him!
I created this, by the way. I did this.
He's a little bright.
Hold on, fix it. People need to see this. Look at that.
If you want pictures like that for any type of event, you give John Marie Photography a call.
Yes.
You find him on Facebook. Yes. You find him on all social media accounts.
Mike Look at that child.
Look at him. Look at him.
Look at the quality of the photo.
The quality of the picture.
You go to Joe's Photoshop.
You ain't getting that.
Shoe's gonna be missing.
You ain't getting
that photo is the highest quality product of 2020.
It didn't really show that well on the
Well, you know what? Next time we're gonna have a high-res photo in the background of the show of my son. Brought to you by JohnMariePhotography.com. It's .com, I hope.
Yes.
He's on Instagram.
We'll post a picture on our social media accounts just so you guys can get a better shot of it.
We'll keep putting photos of
anything.
My spawn. Of my beautiful genetics, that beautiful child that I created with the help of my wife.
Yeah. You needed somebody else to kind of...
But obviously my genes overtook the situation.
Okay. Yes,
look at him.
If you want good genes like Levi's or Mike's, and you want good quality pictures, JohnMariePhotography.com. Check him out on Facebook. He is the real deal. He's Mike Marie. I'm Tim Hanksman. It's late. We're way past our bedtimes.
You've been taking my role the whole show, by the way. The whole show. Did we switch roles? I'm the guy who talks. You shut your mouth until I tell you to.
You said I had to lead the show. I was leading the show.
2020 is going to suck.
It's good. Good night, everybody. Happy New Year.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on the PWO with a little bit of the bubbly. Check us out next time.